and welcome to the Sleeps Brothers podcast. We are a band from Sheffield, England called While She Sleeps. My name is Matt Welsh. I play guitar and sing.
I'm Sean and I do similar things to Matt.
I'm Adam Savage and I play the drums.
Ace.
And we are here to talk shit about our life and others' lives and stuffs and...
Yeah, so if you don't know, we do this thing called the Sleep Society, which is sort of an alternative model for our fans to support the band directly. And we're doing loads of cool shit all the time in the Patreon.
We've just had a competition for the whammy pedal.
Oh yeah, we gave away my whammy pedal. And I want it back. The funny thing is about that, I'll tell you, I had two whammies, right? And I have an old one that's already got tags on it, and I've got my brand new one, which was on my board with no tags on it. So we decided to tag on it. So what I thought would be a good idea is to get my brand new one with no tags on it and give that away, which is mine.
And tag it.
When I already had one that was half tagged that was gathering dust. Now I've got to have that shitty one while they've got my fucking good one.
And we've got to get another one.
Fucking unreal. Who won it? I want it. I'm going to text him. Jamie, message him.
Find out.
Jamie, message him, get it back. We've decided.
I want it back.
Kindness is overrated.
Yeah.
We've done some of the cool stuff in the Sleep Society as well. Sav has done a branding tutorial.
Yeah, just chatting shit.
And to explain a bit more about that, one of the things inside Sleep Society is we sort of honed into each of our strong points and like roles within the band and wanted to sort of help share some of that knowledge.
So you've got like a how to chat shit series, haven't you?
Yeah, I've got a couple of them. Sean's got a how to be a cocky prick series.
Nova's after you. Oh. Cocky prick. What other series has people got?
Loz is doing some singing stuff. Nelson's got a barking tutorial.
I get a fucking rest, pal.
Aaron's doing a filming tutorial. There's so much good stuff in there.
It's happening.
It's good.
We aren't bigging it up enough, but that's because you just need to get in there and find out for yourself.
Yeah, it's really cool. We are offering more than just the music, I think, in it.
Yeah.
Through our experience as a band, we've all learned separate things and avenues that we've put our attention towards. It's not just about music in it. We thought it was our time to kind of let those things shine for the fans, really.
Yeah, and anyone else who's trying to get into like a similar world, this is something that we've been doing for like 15 years.
Yeah.
And
it takes more than just the music, doesn't it? Everyone's got to pull their weight in different areas to make it work. And I think releasing that information and how we did it is what we want to do.
Someone who's thinking about getting into that kind of world, hopefully this is a little peek into it and might be able to help you out learning a bit more about it. And then you can use that on your own creative endeavors and hopefully skip levels 1 and 2 a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. And just
a lot of do's and don'ts that we can maybe eliminate.
Yeah.
And the big do, which is we're trying to promote bands trying out this method that we're doing to keep them alive, which is through Patreon or some kind of subscription-based format to keep them alive. So I think that's the big do, is we're trying to get this out there for people.
Yes, trying to
make independence in it.
Skipping the middleman between what is quite like a complicated industry and just like breaking it down to the simple things, which is there's the listeners who want and need that music, and there's the artists who want and need to create that music, and just making that connection as direct as possible.
Yeah.
That's kind of our goal within it. So hopefully it's working. I mean, it's been good so far.
Yeah.
And, I mean, let us know in the comments if you love it or hate it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just released a new song 3 weeks ago called You Are All You Need, which has been the project at hand for the last sort of couple of months.
It's done really well. We've been very surprised with the reaction. It's been extremely positive, isn't it?
It's been a really cool reaction. It's been, for me, it was like when you've got a full record of new music, just trying to choose the song that comes out next is a really difficult task.
Quite hard to pick one out of the selections we've got.
Sleep Society is such a hard-hitting song, and it's very like, let's fucking mosh the fuck out. Very straight to the point. No bullshit, I think. And I think with You Are All You Need, it's got a little bit more movement in the melody. I think it contains a little... I think our fans were ready for that after such a hard-hitting song like Sleep Society. Yeah. So I think they were ready for some fucking melody and some bit more emotion, I think. I think that's what we gave in that song.
It's got a different set of dynamics on it, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a rager.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a rager.
yeah.
So that's been really fun. If you haven't listened to that, then that is on.
Yeah, please check it out.
Yeah.
It's fucking out. And we have a video that's fucking psychedelic and all. Go and check that
trippy,
out.
mate.
So the video idea came from, we actually weren't, the next song we were going to release was going to be that
Don't
one.
say it though.
I'm not saying
Don't
it.
say it.
But that was going to be this one. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
and then we were like, oh no, it was going to take us a bit longer to do that. So we were like, let's release another song. So let's make this crazy video that sort of sits in between.
And I had a little bit of worry that we should have maybe have been releasing You Are All We Need next anyway. I had a bit of that feeling that we needed to drop some riffage, and I think it's turned out just right. And it's going to set us up, I think, perfectly for the next song.
Yeah, definitely. It's like,
Which we can't tell you what it is. Yeah.
after that, when you decided, so I was about to say a second ago, you then like second guess your choice loads. I go through all the emotions of being like, we chose the right one, and then being like, oh no, we didn't. I listened to the record. What if we should be releasing something else?
But every time we release a tune, like there's so many fans say, like, why didn't you use this as a single? Why
You
didn't
can
you
never
release
make
it?
everyone like happy either, can you?
But then they say that, I'm like, do we just pick the wrong ones every time? You know what I mean? Like,
Awesome.
yeah.
It's like having a selection of meals and you can only feed one of them, but everyone's got different taste buds. So how are you supposed to please them all?
Especially with our songs as well, they're all so fucking vastly different from one another. I think every song is in its own right, its own style, within an album in itself. So it's quite weird that's what the hardest thing with us, when we have to pick one to at least present the campaign. It's always a false interpretation because every song afterwards is
They back each other up, don't
I'm
they?
sure from an outside perspective, you get a vibe, but from us writing them, like You Are All You Need, to me is completely different to Sleep Society.
Totally.
And then the next song after that is completely different. It's like, there's no end to how, like for me, it's just different colours and different moods. And
I feel like it's got something for every Sleeps fan in it though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I like that. I saw that, like a few comments that came in that says like this kind of ticks all the different bits from each record. And that, I think that says that we sort of made that decision quite well.
And I think we always keep that in mind, don't we, when we're writing? Like we want to touch upon all emotions all the time. And like, I think each song in a record, for me anyway, it complements the next and the last. So they all make sense once you listen to the album as a whole rather than just a standalone track. That's the weird thing about the singles. Because each song as we release will paint a better picture of what we were trying to say.
Yeah, they
in
back
the album.
each other up, don't they?
And all the different releases kind of, we're trying to fill the voids that the other one doesn't contain to sort of paint an accurate picture of what the whole record looks like.
Yeah. Because I don't think we could even deal with a full album of Sleep Societies or a full album of You Are All You Need. It's like, I don't think none of us can write like that. It's just,
that explains why the records are so different, because we are just trying to please ourselves in that process.
For example, if we released another song that we might be releasing later down in the campaign, if we released that first, it would have set the wrong tone.
Yeah.
What people would have thought it was going to be.
And people are very quick to like almost judge on your first couple of tracks. So they'll make quite a quick opinion on it.
That is the judging moment, isn't it? I mean, there is some good stuff to look forward to on this record, though. Like the record as a whole, I think I'm like really confident in saying that it's our best work. And then it's also probably like the most we've collaborated with the other artists on.
Yeah, for sure, man. Especially the fucking Derek.
Yeah.
From some 41. It's just, such a mad turnaround, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Crazy,
one of the second, is that the way to say it? One of the second things I did. First thing I did was fucking you introduced me to Slipknot. And I got into that world when I was really young. And then I got into skateboarding. As soon as I got into skateboarding, straight into some 41.
Yeah.
And now singing on our record, it's
I feel like it was some 41 or Blink when you were like a kid. For me, it was some 41 over
Blink was the first ever show I went to in my life.
Was that Nottingham?
Arena, yeah. And I was fucking jumping all the way through and I got stitched because I just couldn't stop fucking jumping.
One of my first shows was Slipknot on the Iowa tour, and I just remember the whole show just getting whipped by some girl's hair who was next to me in the seats, and she's just windmilling, and just spent the whole show just getting hit in the face by someone's hair.
But yeah, and the collab with Simon from Biffy, it's just weird, isn't it? It's weird to say that they're on a record.
A few amazing things just like
slotted in,
like flourished in that process, and they both just worked out crazy. Just a really cool compliment to the songs that we made, and some really good stuff to look forward to on April 16th when that comes out, which is very good. We have a very special guest today on the show, and this is one of the cool things about being able to do this podcast. This kestrel.
This good old kestrel.
This orchestral podcast. We wanted to try and get some more guests involved. So today we are joined by Sam Carter from Architects, who have got a new record coming out this Friday.
Woo-hee.
Yeah, boy.
So we're going to talk to Sam and find out a little bit more about that and what's been going on in his world.
Sounds fucking hot.
Today, we are blessed by the online presence of Sam Carter from Architects. Sam, welcome.
Hey up, pal.
All right, lads.
How you doing?
You all right, mate?
I'm all right, yeah. Good. Just in my little room that I don't leave. I just spend my life doing Zooms and, occasionally leave for food every now and then.
That's it, mate. Same. We're all living the same life, mate.
Hanging on.
That's 20 and 21, innit? That Zoom, the years of Zoom. On a scale of 1 to completely anxious, how's the lead up to this record been?
It's been really good. It's been really fun. I mean, it's been about sort of 9 weeks of press now, which has been, it's been actually nice to have something to focus on during this sort of third lockdown, because we recorded during the first one, and that sort of in between bit where you sort of feel like you don't have a purpose is a bit odd. So it's been nice to really be locked into it, but it's always weird, isn't it? You think, after all this time releasing a record, you'd just be used to it coming out, but it's still you're so nervous for it to be released. Every time it's I don't think people understand the amount of work and time and care that goes into songwriting. So many people are so quick to just think that you just turn up and it just happens.
It's already
it's just
made.
not like that. It's I just can't. I just press a button and it's like, oh, there's your single.
Yeah, it's so weird that the small
I'm excited.
the small doses of anxiety you get with each release, but it's never a fear of. You're not afraid of releasing it to the world. There's something else. It's all the pressure that you've had for
it's all coming out.
All the work that you've put into it, and then it's coming out at this moment, and all the things you've got to do right on social media and all that shit to get it bang on.
I think it's because it's it's doing one thing that you sandwich into a box and then deliver as one thing, rather than if everyone was seeing it all as it came together, you wouldn't have that feeling. But because you're planning a wedding and then it's all down to that one day.
Well, there's so much to deliver, isn't there? You've got your promos, your videos, not the song ain't just that,
no,
is it?
And I mean, now the way releasing music is nowadays, it's all about the lead up to the record. It's not so much what happens after it comes out. That would normally be touring, but it's everything you do before the record comes out now is almost the cycle in itself, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's pretty energy draining.
It's just a thing of everything is thought out, like you say, the release, the initial drop of the single, the videos, the teasers for the videos, and then everything at the start feels so exciting, and then there's these dips where you're like, oh, we need to get something else out. It's all this
start to
planning,
second guess
and then
yourself.
it all comes down to that one day.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Nice moment of
and then
relief.
It comes out, and you're like, a couple of weeks after it's out, you're like, oh, we can't even go on tour, so let's start the next one.
Yeah, that's the weird change in it now, isn't there? I enjoyed the art direction of this new Meteor video.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, it feels cool. It's really 90s, isn't it? Reminds me of like P-Rock.
Yeah.
All the old cool videos. But I love how that came out because, obviously initially it was supposed to be, I think we were sort of planning on maybe me doing it and it being sort of a bit of an acting sort of role. But then obviously COVID and everything like that. So we just made sure we found the right sort of guy. And I mean, he worked himself to the bone. Jeb, who's done a lot of our stuff, has been awesome, but the people that he was working with are super talented. But I was so happy with how it came out because you do run a risk with things like that. You really have to believe in the person that's doing it.
Especially when it's an idea on paper.
We got that delivered to us. Yeah, we got that delivered 2 days before it went out.
Shit.
So if it was rubbish, it would have been fucking hell.
I mean, we just experienced
That's an expensive mistake.
Yeah, we just experienced a bit of that with our last video, didn't we? We've just done something so outside of our comfort zone, but we all wanted to do it, didn't we?
Yeah.
But it was because we've never done anything like it. It was proper hit and miss for a while.
Halfway through it, we were like, oh my God, what are we doing?
I mean, the deadline were fast approaching a few days out, and we still weren't really at the right place.
Because it was such an abstract idea. It's like we were start to film abstract stuff, and then
that stuff's so cool though, isn't it? Because you almost have to be like, well, I can't do this, but I know that this person can, and they're the best at that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it to them and just give them as much direction as I can and just trust my gut.
Yeah, defo. Yeah.
That's totally what it is.
It came out amazing though. That video is really cool.
Yeah, we're stoked with it.
Shout out Sam who did did all the crazy stuff to the visuals and created all that stuff, and then Aaran and Barnsley filmed all the stuff that we did this end. And I think that's the test of everything that's going on this year, like, and releasing a record in these weird times for like bands, is that we are getting like, it's a good thing that we're getting pushed into those places where we're like, right, let's do a video. How do we do a video that still represents the band and our like aesthetic and our vibe without physically doing it like every time? Because it's difficult, like, especially for you guys. You got Adam in Canada, like that makes the whole thing more complicated.
Bloody hell. What a mistake.
Fucking love it.
So when was the last time you saw him? When, like, Albert Hall?
Last time I saw him, he was over for Albert Hall, and then we did the Black Lungs video, like in the same sort of time frame, so like a week after. So yeah, we sort of flew him over, got as many photo shoots and stuff out of him as we could, and then sent him on his way, because when he came over, he had to quarantine for, I think it was 15 days on this side and then 2 weeks on the other.
Jesus.
Bless his heart.
For what is a couple of days, when you'd like a couple of days more time quarantining than actually like spent with the band doing the purpose of coming over.
Yeah. And I think he probably just spent his life on his laptop looking for bikes or something like that.
Yeah.
Just imagining bike rides at home in his hotel room.
Yeah, just watching reruns of Tour de France, going, God, I love that.
God, I love that shit.
God, I love
faster. Albert Hall, probably should mention that. You took the live stream crown there, didn't you?
Yeah, that was fucking epic.
We really had to work to take it off Behemoth though, because their one was really good. But you're in this situation, aren't we? I mean, I'm sure you're in the same thing where you're like, this is normally where we would be on tour, 2 singles in, like where you guys are at now, you would normally be on tour playing these songs. Yeah. And that's exactly where we were when we did the Royal Albert Hall. Cause it's like, that's normally how you gauge how things are going down. I think, by seeing rooms full of people singing along to bits where you're like, yes, that really worked. That's the exact bit where I felt like it would work. And then there's some bits where you're like, I didn't think that bit was going to work and people would sing along to it, but it did. That's the exciting bit. So for Royal Albert Hall, it was like, well, we've got to get this spot on. We had to get Welshie in, had to get, the team in there, because it was, such a privilege to play that room that you really had to, make it a special thing. And I'm glad we did. We put so much time into it and so many production meetings and phone calls and getting everything in, because we just did that. We sorted that all out pretty much by ourselves. Like, we booked the venue.
Nice.
And the amount of stuff that comes with that, like, we had to pay for everyone in the venue had to still work. So there still was like security.
Fucking hell.
People that would be on the bars. I mean, it was absolutely insane. And you had to do it for 2 days. And you're like going in, getting these like swabs and walking in, doing these tests, and then being like, all right, so let's pretend that we're playing in front of people now.
There's so many,
it's just too much.
Many eggs in one basket. It's like us, like any of us saying, well, we're not going to go on tour. We're going to just do one gig. Yeah. And that's going to like,
it fucking worked though, man.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone I knew were watching it. It fucking definitely worked, and it was sick.
It worked as like an event, because everyone was like, oh, you're watching Architects this Saturday.
Well, everyone's starved of that now, aren't they? So.
Yeah. That's what I liked about it. It gave everyone like something to do.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the exciting thing around it as well, is I think, during that, it was the day after when we did like a watch through and like a live watch through on Twitter. And then you see that connection with people like saying what their favorite songs are and why they like them and stuff. And then you're like, God, like I miss that
reaction.
Just seeing that person in the front row and just making a connection. Yeah, it's
dude.
so mad.
We're missing half the side of the other coin. Do you know what I mean? We're writing the music, releasing the songs, you're getting all that buzz, which is great, but then you're missing
that connection.
That whole point of if it's even connecting the way you want it to. Because you obviously want it to connect on in your earphones, that's great, but you need that other half that no one's getting.
That's why at the moment I am like literally living off reaction videos.
Yeah.
The songs could be shit. You know what I mean? Until you fucking rock them out. It's
reaction videos have been like real key to me as well throughout this, because I think we're so desensitized to like nice comments, but we're so enraged by shitty comments.
Yeah, man.
But it's because, but actually watching your song means something to someone and seeing that reaction in their face,
they're not just words.
Is exactly what you would get live.
Totally. I've been doing it every night almost since the song was released. There's a couple of new ones come on each day, and I'm watching it, and I can just watch their face because I know it's the first time of them listening. So watching their face as the song, like, as they hear the structure of the song and it surprises them, or they don't expect what's coming, and just watching that like actually go into someone else's.
Yeah. And just seeing someone rock out.
Well, it's real, isn't it? You can't, there's nowhere to hide from that. It's a real reaction, but you can, even if you say you fucking love the song, it's still not enough to know what they're really thinking and feeling. At least a reaction, something visual where like, we were getting goosebumps watching, weren't we?
Totally.
So it's, you can't hide behind anything there. That's true reaction.
And that's what you live off at the show as well, though. You're seeing that person on front row sing and you're connecting with them. And that's where we sort of feed.
Yeah.
So losing that, we're actually missing a proper integral part of releasing music.
You have to have both sides, because it's like, it's a real sense of, sort of yin and yang. It's like, we're doing this because we love this music, but then they are taking the songs and loving it and then giving the songs another life and then giving that energy back to you. It's so crazy. And that's the main thing that's missing, is that like the community, like the real community of the scene, of like, some people find going to shows like extremely cathartic. And I think it's massively, from our point of view, from being in bands, you are like, oh God, yes, this is related. Like you feel the same way that I do, So it's how have you guys found not having that? Because for me, it's been so like strange.
Yeah, normally on tour we get like an hour a night to release all these pent up emotions. You know what I mean? So like we're defo not having that anymore.
I've found myself like being angrier this year or last year, like being closer to my fuse.
Yeah.
And then I'm sort of connecting that back to, that's probably because I'm not having that like that release that I usually get for, and even like when we shot the video the other day, just shouting my head off all the way through the shoot, and I just like got to sing all the songs, but like belting it, and it felt so good. Like, and I remember when we were recorded, because that was the closest we were getting. I was like, can I just do some scream sections? Just because I'd feel great afterwards.
Because I think the gig thing as well, it's like, obviously there's some kind of emotional release we all receive when we do a gig, but you just straight up, there's a physical release as well. You're working out for an hour. And you everyone misses your workout, whatever it may be. You get that as well.
Yeah. It's a workout without it being known as a workout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think, like you were saying, Sam, I think that connection that we all have with the fans, my favorite thing about it is like, sometimes you don't really know what it is and what is it we're all enjoying about the gig. Sometimes you don't know, but everyone turns up to the gig. We turn up and play the show, and there's something that's going down between us all that we're all fucking buzzing off, but we don't really know exactly what it is. Everyone's got their own little...
Well, everyone's is a bit different.
Yeah, little different reasons everywhere, but it's that bit, that connection, the other side of it that's not being fulfilled right now.
Probably even the stuff that we take for granted, like even like loading in. Do you know what I mean? Missing that stuff now. Like, I'm sure everyone will drop a leg to go and fucking load in now.
Well, I know that's true because
give me a bass cab and a flight of stairs. Let's go.
Yeah.
Where's Anti-Peg?
Where's Ampeg at?
I know this is real because I've missed the loading stuff so heavily that like I've renovated a house in this last year, and I packed the skip outside my house like the best trailer you've ever fucking seen. It were like every bit of space accounted for. And I like channeled whatever I'm not getting with touring and the
Tetris.
van into just a skip. So I definitely know I'm missing it.
I was recording for you guys.
It was really good, man. I think, during the first bit, I mean, it was really nice to have that thing to focus on because we'd been to Australia and done that Unify Fest. And then on the way back, we were supposed to go to do some writing because Dan was moving to Australia. And then in the end, he didn't move there. But we stopped off at Bali on the way back through because there was all those horrible forest fires in Australia. Yeah. And it was just like where we were going to stay. There was just no way that was going to happen. So we went there and we worked there for like a month with the four of us, and Josh was at home with his kid. And then when we flew home, me and Ali were flying home, and it was the first day that like people had started talking about coronavirus out in Bali. And I saw people wearing masks, and me and Ali were going through the airport like, what the hell? You ain't going to be wearing these next week. Like, this is ridiculous. And then we landed back in England, and it was like, oh my God. Yeah. Like we just got back. Dan got the last flight out of Bali, literally the last plane that flew. And then, we were lucky to have the record to focus on, but it was still weird. Like, Dan had to record the drums by himself. Me and Dan recorded all the vocals in Brighton. Ali, Adam, and Josh recorded their guitars at home and had to have them reamped. So thank God we had that time in Bali together to get that sort of creative process, flowing and everybody feeling like they were part of it. But yeah, it was the middle bit really for me. Like this third lockdown's been easier because, I've been talking about the record every day and it's been building up and there's been that excitement. But in the middle where we weren't doing that and we weren't recording and it was just sort of limbo for a bit, we were like, part of your personality is like getting, like, as we say, getting that adrenaline and that vibe every night and kind of being addicted to that sort of feeling and that rush that you get. And then you're like, well, what do I do with all this extra energy? And like you were saying, Matt, I felt a little bit on edge and a little bit antsier than I would normally be. So I just had to sort of channel it into running and which, at the start of lockdown, I'd never even tried ever. Okay. And now it's sort of like a sort of really good way to sort of get that sort of sweat on and that adrenaline boost out because in the middle, I was just sort of so lost in like, well, what do I do now? Yeah. It's like we've all been in these bands for like 10 plus years. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, so I'm just a dog walker now. That's cool.
Yeah. I think loads of artists have experienced that, like,
which is great.
Yeah. I think loads of us have experienced that, like, what would it be like? Yeah. Even if it were a few moments, like I haven't had that many moments because I've been swallowed in writing and stuff anyway. So I've felt quite lucky that I've been so busy with that. But I think it's touched a lot of people being like, what would I do if I wasn't in the band? And it's fucking terrifying when that's all we've been doing for 15 years. It's fucking...
Well, it's like stripped our character, everything, do you know what I mean?
It's who we are, innit?
It starts to feel a bit like an old life when I like watch videos. I'm like, shit, man. That felt like then, and this is going to be a real like change of dynamic for it before it goes back to normal. And like, it's super weird. I think a lot of people
it's funny, isn't it? Because it sort of forces you to sit with yourself and go like, do I like myself? Or like, what do I need to do to become comfortable with myself?
Yeah. And stay still, which we don't do normally.
Ever.
Yeah. Like we're constantly on the move, seeing new places every day. Do you know what I mean?
And that's applied to, people that aren't in bands as well. That's the thing. No one's being forced to just be still for a moment or two, just to, you know what I mean? And that is it. It's like, you have to ask yourself, am I a prick?
Yeah.
it's that time where like you say, like even if you're working a normal job or you're working as like a carer or whatever you do, you're always traveling around. There's always something to do. And I think that's the thing, isn't it? It's like waking up in the morning and kind of being like, you could easily be like, what's the point in getting up? Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah,
totally.
And having to create that sort of like purpose of like, okay, cool, right, today I'm going to get up at this time and I'm going to do this and this, and having to set that routine.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time as well, we live this life where we all know what we're going to be doing at 7 o'clock at night. We all know what we're going to be doing at 5.
Even a year early.
We know catering's up at 12.
Yeah. We know we know what's happening next year, don't we?
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's like it's started. When it first happened, we were like, oh, this is going to like take its toll on a lot of people's like character and like mental health, and it's going to play like a heavy role on things. But I think at the point we're out of it now, like lockdown 3, we're watching that like wave that we sort of talked about catch up with itself, and like now I feel like everyone probably knows some people that you can go, I can see it's affecting you, or like I can see it taking its toll on people in different ways, because there's a real reality in it at this point. It's like, it's not, there was a bit of novelty at the beginning. You were like, okay, I'll take a lockdown. This would be weird. We'll stay home. And then when it carries on, it's like, it's proper starting to kick in.
Like people losing the structure of your day. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, you need to,
life.
yeah. So it's trying to plan something now just to keep your mind busy.
It's different forms of stimulation.
I think that's a massive wake-up call for everyone, isn't it? I think that's the point, is that maybe everyone shouldn't be doing these things looking so far in the future to keep everyone stable. Do you know what I mean? I think the point is to it's a massive wake-up call to make everyone be sane enough with a few days apart to be okay within this moment without always needing so much in the future. I think that's a massive,
it's
a good
thing.
Society's
It's a
wake-up
good thing to be forced into, because it does make
it questions a lot of things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I think as well, a good thing with it is it started, and I think I wonder if you guys have noticed this as well. Like during the first lockdown, it was like, everyone was on like house party and Zoom, and it would be like, there'd be like 10 people, and there wasn't really a conversation. It was just people shouting over each other. And then eventually, you go through it all, and you're like, actually, I just want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
And you pick those people to have like a one-on-one serious conversation with, where there is no distractions around you. You're just faced with that person and having that conversation, and you're like, oh, I haven't done this in long enough. Or those people that you hadn't spoken to because your life was so hectic and you're running around doing all this stuff. And then you're like, well, I'm going to connect with this person because, maybe I've been distracted and I need to check in. And then you really get to, make sure that you're there for people properly. And I think that's been one positive is really not having those distractions around you. It was a real, that was one good thing. Yeah,
it's taking like the casual thing that you get to see people every day for granted. So it's like now we've been stripped of seeing family members and all that. It's probably defo going to reset everything.
We'll appreciate the time. And like, you normally could be like, oh yeah, my mate's coming around tonight, but you could quite easily just sit and watch telly all night.
Yeah.
But you can't watch telly with your mate over Zoom. So we are being forced back into that conversational, like direct chat, which is so much better than like sort of wasting time with each other, innit?
Yeah.
So there is totally some positives. I think what we'll notice is loads of people, I think a lot of people in our world, in the music scene, might not come back into it because it has been so long that if people have found alternative ways to survive now, this might just become something they used to do and they never actually go back into it. So it's going to be a big change on the other side of it all, I think.
People might get comfier because it probably is a bit of more of a comfier lifestyle than going on tour.
It feels more on a pedestal than ever, doesn't it now?
Maybe some people have had this time and it's created an opportunity for them, and they just think, maybe I didn't really like that life anyway. Because if everyone's so go all the time, how often do you get these moments to actually think about, oh, I don't really like hanging around with this person, or like I don't really like this job, or like I've been doing this wrong. So even though it's been negative for so many people, obviously it's been mad positive for so many reasons for so many people. Well, it's been positive for me. You know what I mean? It's
I think that's it as well, isn't it? It's like whether you choose to accept the positives and try and find them, or whether you just go like, oh, I can't. And I think that's part of life, isn't it? The ups and downs. But just trying to grab hold of them when you find them and you have those conversations with people is so key. I think another good thing as well is I think it's got a lot of people that I always presumed were just really fine with everything and happy about everything, to be able to be like, how are you? And then be like, do you know what? I'm shit.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, thank God you said that. Because, for so long you speak to these people and they're like, yeah, I'm fine. And you're like,
are you fine?
You're crying. But, okay. So that's been good.
I think we
to open up that sort of chat about mental health.
Everyone was so overexposed to everything before that we're kind of like desensitized to those things, and now all those things are on the surface because they're kind of like all we've got. You can't really cloud it with like putting something in front of it, you know what I mean?
And everyone's in the same boat, which I think is a kind of a connection with everyone. Everyone's almost going through the same thing, even though everyone's got their own situations.
Totally.
We're all on a lockdown. So it's like...
It's forced a lot of people to help other people on it. Like, that's a good thing about it, that like people have started using their neighbors and like embracing the small connections that you'd quite easily like skip past and go to the person.
It's like what Sam said. It's like, you've got so much energy. How do you want to put it? I mean, some people might not be having the worst time in the world, but they're being so sucked into their phones and all the negative shit that's going on, they can't find positive for themselves. Do you know what I mean? So there's two roads to take, I think.
Totally.
Yeah. I think a good thing as well is, it's that sense of community as well, is like we're all going through it together. And I think even like the sense of like local places, like I find when I walk my dogs around now, I feel like everybody is saying hello and talking to each other and like, oh, where's your dog from? Like, what's his name? What's her name? You know, and I feel like that wasn't there at the start of this. It was like, you sort of see each other. Well, it's probably because it's the South. The North's a lot friendlier. But you sort of, now it's sort of like you see these people and you're like, oh, I see you every day. And you sort of go like, how are you? You start these like friendships that weren't there before, which I think is really cool, because it's like, like you say, that distraction isn't there. It's like, well, this is now, and I'm at this coffee shop and I see you here every day because our lives sync up and we both do this bit together. So I'm not just going to stand next to you and not say hello.
No.
And you're like, oh, how's your dog? Like, how's your family? You know, and that's a positive to take from it for sure.
Definitely.
I think the repercussions we'll see in, I don't know, say like fucking 5 years or something, and then you look back and you see what happened in this lockdown situation, and you'll be able to see how much the world's changed for the better, I suppose.
I always just like to imagine doing this whole experience, but sort of taking out the social media aspect of it and the media. So if we were here right now and we weren't looking at bad news on the news, basically, then it would feel like quite a nice time. The world's got a bit quiet, it's got a bit calmer. Like we're not as angry at each other as we were normally and rushing and those kind of things. So it is like, it's introduced a bit of peace because we're forced into it.
Yeah. I think also looking at like, you know, at the start, especially like a few weeks into the first one, it literally taking like a month for some animals to come back to places where they hadn't been for years, and being like, whoa, like if we just slow down a little bit, nature starts to sort of like come back and heal, and it's so crazy. So hopefully like this is a thing that makes people go like, oh, okay, maybe we don't need to fly as many planes across the world.
What do we need? What did we use? What didn't we use in the lockdown, you know?
Yeah.
And we've both managed to make new albums, so that's a pretty good spin
that's
on it as well.
That's all we know. And I think you like we've all said, like we can't stop doing what we're doing because this is our jobs and we love it, and it is our source of income. So it's been really cool to see so many friends bands that have really got down and, you know, hunkered down and got it done. How's the studio now? You've been doing some renovations, right?
Yeah, we've been painting this morning before we did this. Sean is still painting.
Respect.
I just put a new shirt on. But yeah, it's
probably
great.
Sell that for 500 quid. Yeah,
that's
vintage,
it, mate. Fucking, that's it.
Customized.
Custom vintage.
In the same breath as what we were saying a second ago, really, we're like, there was a time where we'd be absolutely gagging to be given a bit of time off.
Yeah.
And we've got that list of things backing up from that. And we've done 3 records in the studio as it was. And we're just like, if we're going to do another one, let's just like refresh it. And like, we're lucky enough to be in a position where like we can put a new floor down, because it was just like, it just got a bit tired, didn't it? And we did things very much first attempt. And now like a few of us have done more like renovation projects and know a bit more. So it's going to be really nice when it's done, and it's like energizes for another record.
It's amazing how much of a difference, even probably down to just like a lick of paint, can make you feel. Especially, you know, like people from the outside probably don't understand. Really, it's quite intense being in the same place for an intense amount of period, working on something that you put your heart and soul into. So like, even literally changing the fucking wall and being like, oh, I'm looking at something different this time. Yeah. Probably feels so much better.
Yeah, I think people don't get that, like, the ups and downs of life after time, it goes into your music whilst you're doing it for so long. I hate this shit. Can't do this shit. I fucking love it. I can't live without it. You go through all those ups and downs that you have in life straight into the band stuff as well.
Yeah,
well,
a lot coming of people, out in it. It's like it's in your sweat.
A lot of people think that it's just fucking fun all the time, and it's not. It really is.
Well, you can see that. You can see that in now. What I was talking to someone about this the other day, and now when I look at like So What, I can hear the trauma in So What that we were all going through in that record, whether it be like mental or physical or both. And in this one, I can feel the like connection of us all being more energized, like trapped inside it.
Yeah.
And just trying to because we've done 3 records in it. I personally, the Warehouse is a constant wave of, it's either inspiring me completely or it's stressing me out.
Yeah, so shit doing.
Renovating it will make me inspired again.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's Loz doing? He seems like super, he seems like he's turned his life around, like super posy at the moment.
Really has.
From when I've spoken to him, I'm like super proud of him.
Yeah. I think
he's killing it.
We're all really proud of him.
Yeah, he's killing it, man. His fucking voice is on form. It's
that's what I was going to say. His voice sounds so good on the new songs, man.
Oh yeah, it couldn't be happier, man. It's almost better than it
is the best.
It's found a really good spot with it. So it's fucking great.
I mean, as well,
amazing.
Credit to Sean in that as well. Like you scream and really found your place in a scream, and then you and Loz worked together so much because it bouncing those things back and forth. Vocals are a crazy thing because only you can feel where that is and how to explain it, and then you have to put it into these weird like words of what it is, but we don't know how to refer to it.
It's one of them things, and I think that
Sean, do you track Loz as well?
Yeah, I tracked it. I tracked half of him for this record. Yeah,
amazing. That relationship's so key. Like it's the same with me and Dan. It's like once you click on, you're like, I don't want to work with anybody else because that person gets me and I feel comfortable and I'm not intimidated, and they know when to like push you and when to like pull you back, and that relationship's so key.
Well, I've realised how important that vibe is now to actually get the best out of Loz, whether or not he thinks it's the best or not. Because when we're tracking, I'm only 1.5 meters away from him. So whatever the vibe is, I have to put my vibe on hold to get the best out of Loz. And like Matt was saying, it's like sometimes it's hard to explain to someone how to do anything in words, but then someone will always say it a little bit differently to someone else. And I just think I've got a way of getting to Loz.
You found the key, didn't you?
Yeah, because I actually found a key for myself for screaming that really worked for me. So I found a way to apply that to Loz, and I think it helped a bit.
Amazing. It's cool, those relationships that come up, because I was reading about Maynard from Tool, and since the record just before Lateralis, or I think it was Lateralis, he started working with this producer, and he's recorded every vocal he's ever done. So for like Perfect Circle, everything since that record, because they just hit it off and were like, right, this is a working partner. So that stuff's really interesting to me.
Yeah, man.
And as well, I think what, like you said, that this sort of outlets helped you. Like Loz proper, like he's gone into a running thing, and he's just
positive mental attitude now, like,
and that he's getting the like reaping the benefits of the endorphins that come from that sort of intense exercise. And like running's a total it's a, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a meditative state for people. It's a source of therapy in it, like that exercise. And I think, like, I'm not speaking for him, but I think that's become something that he finds really addictive and enjoys.
Go on. You're all right, mate.
I was just saying, I watched a video of Sad Guru saying the other day, you can only multiply like positive like attitude into your life. You can't subtract like negative thoughts from it. You can only add positives to kind of drown out whatever negative thoughts you've done. So like running every day and just actually doing something that implements positive.
I think in our day and age, instead of just sitting down for meditation all the time, I think finding an exercise where it's physical and also you can fall into a meditative state is the win for us. That's why boxing I like so much, because I'm getting that workout, but at the same time, it's almost impossible for me to think about my problem while I'm fucking smashing the bag up. So I think finding that crossover between meditation and exercise is fucking key.
Something that does it for me, it's like physical work, like DIY or art. When I'm in there, I'm lost. I can't daydream.
Try and think about your fucking problems while you're doing that shit. It's almost impossible.
Same with like
consumes my my brain and my
same
energy.
with riding like motorbikes. You can't think of anything else other than driving. And
you'll fucking crash.
Yeah, that's it. So everything's on the line and there's so many senses coming in because you can feel the wind, smell, everything. And it's just, it is a meditative state.
It's like
I had that with when I moved into this house I'm in now. So I did the house up and that was really cool. So I was focused there. Whenever I've been playing a lot of 5-a-side, 6-a-side football until this shut down. And I was coming back after that and just feeling like, whoa. Like I felt like a different person. And then it was the same with running. And I was like, what is this? What is this thing? And I realized it was all these times where, like you say, where I wasn't distracted. And what's the big thing with that? I didn't have my phone in my hand.
Yeah.
I wasn't waiting for something or looking at something or being like, trying to find something to like thrill me. I was just doing it.
Yeah.
And it's that time of like, and then being like, I'm going to walk the dogs and today I'm going to leave my phone at home.
Yeah.
And not focus on trying to see if I need to do something or record something or go anywhere, like just be distracted. And I think it was doing all those things where I was like, man, I'm fully like hooked on this.
Yeah.
Hooked on this like blue light flashing in my eyes. And you're like, that is what's so draining.
It's crazy that we like to break it down that simply. Like just, I did it a few times where I'd be like going for a walk and leave my phone in the car. And it feels like a big deal, that's what I mean. It's crazy that like you're like,
and the amount of times you pat your pocket or go for your coat to try and pull it out to just look at the time. The amount of times I'm on a dog walk and I just pull it out to look at the time.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, well, that was a minute ago. What am I fucking doing?
What fucking Elon Musk says, and it's so true. It's like we already are cyborgs.
Yeah.
This is an extension of ourselves. It's just the interface.
It's just not attached.
The interface just isn't really quick. You just have to. It's it's a few seconds. You got to get it
We've
out.
got all the
then
answers.
do your searching. But this is technically may as well be stuck in your fucking head. It's so hard. Like you said, it's like when you're leaving it now. It's hard to do.
But then you're actually like, I can do it, leave it there, and can actually feel a sensation of like distancing myself from a stress or from an anxiety. Yeah. As simple as
it's
like
mad
getting
as well.
further away
I think
from my phone.
for our jobs as well is so much of music now is done through those devices.
Yeah.
So you're always thinking, especially like I noticed in release week and heading up to it, you're always like, okay, so I need to do this. Oh, guys, what if we do this? Like I've got this plan for this. And everything around that, the conversation is on the phone. The posting it is on the phone. The initial idea is written in the notes on your phone.
Yeah.
It's so hard, isn't it?
But
then you realise like this is the problem.
Yeah, everyone's campaign is based around an iPhone.
Yeah, you can run a full company off a phone, can't you?
Even the way your fucking pictures are laid out, it has to be for the fucking phone. It's like
I think that's why we enjoyed camping so much.
For a story, for a grid, for a swipe up.
Yeah, I think that's why we enjoyed camping so much.
Yeah, I bet, man. Like just being in nature, I bet it's so great.
Yeah, like you just lose, you like disconnected from your phone. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you ain't got no Wi-Fi out there.
I need to go so bad for that thing of just like forced into it, no signal, and like that.
I think that's the key in it. It's like there's no getting around it. It's fully part of our life now, and it has to be. It's great in so many ways. You just have to integrate it in a way so we don't fucking turn into some kind of drone. I myself have been turning into quite the drone in the evenings. I'm fucking hooked. Man. I can't. But there's nothing in particular I'm hooked on. But I think we have to integrate it, but don't let it take over your life. I think that's the point.
And that is like
I think I've set myself a thing like after release week. Like. Release week, push all that, and then like just have a detox from it, and just be like delete the apps for a bit, and just try and just be like,
but leave Instagram
see how you feel after it.
Yeah,
you know, you got to have a look. Twitter can go.
Oh yeah.
Like it's the thing that you were talking about before with like distracting yourself. If you're exercising and doing like DIY or whatever, anything you need to do with yourself, it's like that distraction is for you, not through Instagram about someone else's life. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and like it does. The world stays the same. When you delete it, you're just like, oh, it's gone, and like everything's still there. It's like a big thing, and then straight away, like it's not.
It's too much of fucking eat the cake. Too much of anything.
You know what's funny is
too much.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I noticed I've got this Strava app, which is a running app, and it's really cool because it feels like this sort of sense of community, but it's all built around bigging each other up and going like, well done.
Yeah.
Like you got out there today and you did that run, and you go on there and you see these people going for a run, and you feel like, oh yeah, I'm going to get out there and go and do that. And you notice through that, like the positive energy that comes through that. And then you go on Instagram or something else or Twitter and you're like, oh no, this is anti. This is like the anti good feeling.
Yeah.
If you
know, and you realise like there is some positives to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there is some positives to it. And then there's this weird sort of like, I've just had this lunch here and at this person and like use this code for this amount of time off. And you're like, I don't even want it, but I'm buying it. What am I doing?
Yeah, man.
I mean, we're at the right point because we're acknowledging that it contains these stresses and feelings. So like, even if I'm not, I haven't like put it down completely. Just still acknowledging that I can, like that's the step. Like you said, it's just.
I remember being in school and having to top up my phone and text costing like 10p. Every text, when you sent it, you were like, this has got to mean it.
Yeah.
You know? And now, I mean, I can't imagine being a kid at school and having like your phone blowing up all day. Like, must be so insane. And
that's similar to my idea. It must be
so bad for kids growing up.
My idea is that if you want to listen to a tune on Spotify, it's £1 a play.
Quid.
That's it. That's my new concept. £1 a play. Then you want to fucking listen to a song you like, you got to fucking mean it. Get the right time, right day.
A single was £1, £1.20, wasn't it?
I'm with you. Whack it up to 10, mate. Whack it up to 10.
Do you reckon because of that 10p a text?
Bloody loaded, lads.
That 10p a text thing was what, like 15, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Do you reckon it's £1 a text now?
Playing Snake.
Yeah, innit?
Well, Sam, thank you very much for joining us. I'm conscious that we don't take up all your afternoon.
It's been an absolute pleasure, boys.
Very nice to see you, mate.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Nice to catch up.
A nice Zoom surprise to Zoom with someone who isn't just us five over and over again.
It's nice to speak to someone that isn't just going, so, your album is different? Why?
Your first album, really good. The latest, not so good.
That's tomorrow for us, that.
Why have you got horn instruments? Why? Why is the horns?
Only these kind of horns,
thanks so much, guys.
Yeah, cheers, dude.
Yeah, appreciate it, brother.
Have an amazing day, guys.
Yeah,
too, man.
Good luck for this week, bro. Kill it. Look forward to the record.
Peace out.
Peace.
Thank you, boys.
Bye, mate.
Cheers, lads.
Bye. Well, that was a nice chat with Sam, wasn't it?
Yeah. What a lad.
Fucking what a prick.
Yeah, so I mean, go and listen to the new Architects record that's out this Friday, last Friday.
Would it be? Yeah. Oh yeah, cool.
It's going to be
out last Friday. Yeah, very exciting.
Check it.
More UK bands killing it as well. Shout out to Yumi at 6 for their new record that just came out. That's really good.
Yeah,
and congrats on the #1.
Yeah,
innit?
Fucking insane. Do you know what my question is? Because Bring Me got a #1, didn't they? And Yumi at 6 got a #1. They all had their awards on the day. How did they get there so quick?
Interparcel.
Like, same day delivery, so you win.
I don't know.
Is it like the results come out and then they were like, how did they get it so quick?
Photoshop.
Yeah. We should just be photoshopping awards everywhere, man.
Josh.
We should.
We want to know, you're invited on the next podcast.
Yeah, let's get Josh on.
Let's get Josh on. And we want to know how you got that award so quick.
So quick, yeah. We talk about this boxing match and all you keep fucking pussying out of.
Let's get it on.
Forget about the record and what it's about and the songs.
How do we fight?
How did you get that fucking award?
How do you get the award and how do we fight each other?
What's the best courier service, in your opinion? So what do we have coming up in the society this next month? Yeah,
got new competition, haven't we?
Gets exciting again. Yeah, good new competition. Our good friends in Audio Technica have gifted some incredible Bluetooth headphones, the same headphones that we used to make the record.
They're my go-to studio headphones are fucking great.
Yeah.
So we have a set of them that we're giving away for you guys. If you're already a member,
giving them away. Yeah. You don't have to buy them.
Brand
get them
new.
If you're in this club, then you're in for a chance to win, which is pretty cool. Aaran has another episode of filmmaking tutorial.
I've got another Amazing Anxiety series coming out.
Wicked. What is Amazing Anxiety if anyone doesn't know?
It's just a mental health series, I suppose, but I'm trying to put a nice spin on it that going through things that it deems negative can actually have an insanely positive impact on your life. Not just after you've gone through it, but whilst going through it. So I'm trying to give it that spin, like
take the stigma away of it. Yeah, just negative.
I want it to be like, if you have depression, then you're a very lucky person, or if you have anxiety, then you're very lucky because it's gonna force you to look deeper than if you didn't have this kind of suffering. Then you may have just gone through life on another plane of consciousness, which I think we need to go a little bit deeper. So I'm trying to make it a positive thing.
It's like a new outlook on a...
Everyone's always like, you're going to get better. And after it's over, then you'll get all the yin to the yang or whatever. But I'm trying to promote that you're very lucky to be in it right now because things are going to change.
Yeah, because you have the potential of getting to that better place, which is so...
If I was going to speak like a
better.
Christian, I'd call it like grace. I'm not a Christian, but that's, like it's kind of like the grace of God. I think it's a huge opportunity for people. I don't believe in God in that sense, but I think that's a good way. That's how I'm looking at it in that sense.
Yeah,
that's cool. I think it's really refreshing for people to see.
Totally, yeah, because without that pain, you never would have the ability to get to that thing after it.
And I think, imagine the optimism if that was more like recognized when it's like, fucking hell, you lucky bastard. Like you're suffering, you lucky bastard. You're gonna find some. I mean, it's gonna be hard. It's obviously not no walk in the park, but I think that's what I'm going for. That you're very lucky to experience it.
No, it's a cool way to approach it.
Thanks.
And we have some more cool music things that's going to happen. That we're not going to tell you what or when or how, but get them excited.
We've
caps
been
on.
busy.
Not long though, eh?
No.
I won't say when.
Couple of months?
Yeah. Couple of years. Shit.
The next single's going to be out in a couple of years. We're doing the slowest album campaign launch known to man.
Loz has got another session, I believe, out.
He's got
one-to-one vocal lesson.
Oh, nice. So actually he's... I did my first one of these last month where I had like a group of 5 people and did like a management chat talking to people who wanted to sort of have their own business and do those kind of things and how to get started, how to like things to help you run it and help to strategize and structure people who are their own boss, so to speak, which was really cool. And Loz is doing a similar thing to that, talking about vocals and talking to other vocalists or people who want to become vocalists about what comes with that, which is a lot, I think, for anyone who doesn't know. We are going to have a call with someone from the society.
Who is that?
Who is that? So one of the things we like to do on the pod is talk to someone who's in the Sleep Society, find out how they're doing with it, see if they're enjoying it, see if they're planning on leaving shortly, and if so, why?
And if so, and how do we replace them with someone else ASAP?
Yes. So this week, our potential stayer or leaver is Jordan Mew from Berwick upon Tweed. Let's find out if Jordan's going to stay or go.
Hey, Jordan, you think of leaving us?
How you doing, dude?
Not so bad. How are you?
We're all good.
Yes, mate. Very good.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it.
Jordan, first question is, where is Berwick upon Tweed?
So you know where Scotland is, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine 2 miles under the border of Scotland.
Okay.
Right.
Literally. So I'm almost Scottish. I'm not quite Scottish.
So
but I'm almost Scottish.
Your accent sounds
are you
almost
on
Scottish.
are you on the Newcastle side?
Yeah, aye. But if I go to Newcastle, I'm classed as Scottish. But if I go to Scotland, I'm classed as Newcastle. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't know where I am. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Well, thanks for being in Sleep Society. It's the coolest thing ever. Cheers for getting involved with that.
It's a pleasure, mate. It's a pleasure.
Are you planning on staying in the Sleep Society or leaving?
I'm planning on staying 100%.
Good lad.
We got to stay.
Always.
Yeah, mate.
Right, we're going to go for rest for Patreons now and find out w's staying and going.
Yeah, that's what we're doing today. We're just FaceTiming all of them. So
are you in or are you out?
Yeah.
It's like Brexit all over again, isn't it? Jordan, what is... you got some questions for us, right?
I do.
Crack on, my son.
First one is, so if Sleeps had a Royal Rumble, who would come out on top? And you can include Lacey, you can include James, and you can include Bonzi as well.
Jamie.
I already know the answer.
Fuck.
What
about the dogs?
In my opinion, anyway.
What about the dogs?
Are the dogs in it?
Aye, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Royal Rumble.
Let's take it in turns.
Different qualities. Royal Rumble's different to...
We've got boxing experience.
Yeah.
But you've got a really miniature man that can box, you know?
We got Loz.
A really undersized man.
Yeah.
I think Loz is a bit mental.
Yeah.
Right?
Loz would probably bring his stage presence into
That's what I mean.
the Royal Rumble.
I think he'll bring that fire in. I don't know if I want to mess with that.
No.
Yeah.
Jumping off top balcony.
If
He's had experience in fucking the stage shit now.
have you seen what he does to a riser?
Yeah, I don't want none of that fire.
Yeah.
He's a bit like X-Pac turned up in it. X-Pac met Triple H and had a baby.
Yeah. I'd say
Triple X.
I'm going with Loz.
Yeah,
I don't want that smoke.
Yeah.
So Loz,
I would say Sab straight away after
Good lad.
Because of the drumming
straight away, man.
Oh mate,
Sav is a lion, so like I can definitely like I wouldn't enjoy that tagging moment of seeing the lion head on.
It can come out like.
We all said Loz.
I went Loz.
I can go Loz, but I'll take Sav.
Good question though.
Yeah.
Great question.
Thanks, Ben. The second one is so each major city in the UK, which is your favourite venues in each city?
From each city, or our favourite venue?
You pick the city, we'll pick the venue.
So we'll go Glasgow.
Well, let's do Glasgow first.
Right.
Nottingham, London, and Birmingham.
Okay.
Right.
Let me just tell you something about my memory before we get started. I can't remember fucking anything.
It's like a cabbage.
Right. I'm going to have to say Cat House just
because it's only one we can remember.
That's
gonna have
what I was hoping for Glasgow, man.
Only because
definitely.
we've also had so many great fucking night outs there as well.
Yeah.
And
It's Barrowlands for me in Glasgow.
Yeah.
Barrowlands is fucking nice.
Barrowlands is like
the first time I ever seen you was in 2011 in the Cat House, and that was fucking sick. Like,
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
it's
Nice.
such a small, compact venue. So
yeah.
It's a vibe.
Yeah, for me it'd be Barrowlands just
Yeah.
because the building's just cool as fuck.
Yeah.
And it's on my list of like Brixton of the North in a way.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's
nice.
that like
yeah. It's kind of like the Brixton of Scotland in a way.
yeah,
I'd say.
it's such a cool like it's such a like a sick like 70s, 60s, 70s
Yeah.
style
Yeah.
building. It's
Yeah.
like got a lot of character to it.
So is the next one Nottingham?
Yeah. Nottingham's
Oh,
just
Rock
Nottingham's
City.
just a rock city
Yeah, fuck.
through and through.
Shit.
I'm just taking a guess there.
We're going to say O2.
Don't think there's an O2.
Liverpool. Is it Liverpool?
Liverpool's got an O2, yeah.
Just ignore me, mate.
Yeah.
Rock City,
Yeah,
Nottingham
Rock City
Yeah.
by far.
is
Yeah.
we've done every room
So you
in
go
that
to
place.
one, innit?
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
awesome. And
Aye.
one of the best independent venues in the country, if not the best.
Mhm.
Cool, next
Then did you say
location.
London? Was it London?
London, yeah.
Best venue in London?
Underworld. I fucking love Underworld.
Feeling all right.
Yeah.
It is a cool vibe.
It's a little like absolute vibe pit.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think Brixton it's just got like.
Don't know because I've always had mad nerves at Brixton. So I
Same,
don't think
same.
I drank it in
It's not
halfway.
like the one that I've probably had the best time in, but it was just such a
I think
momentous
Underworld for me is where I had
I
my
think
biggest.
for me, Brixton as a gig goer, because it's on like
Yeah.
a slope
yeah, it's a
to
bit
the stage, you
weird,
get
isn't it?
such a good view wherever you go, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
It is a special bloody spotlight.
And when I'm
Yeah.
I can't speak me. When I'm not nervous, Brixton, I think.
Yeah, if the
Yeah.
nerves were out, it's just
Yeah, once it died down for headline and I was halfway through set, I was fucking
Yeah,
enjoying
peaking.
it.
If I could,
Yeah.
if I could play Brixton with the mind of me playing Underworld.
Yeah, feel
Mhm.
that.
combo.
Aye. Yeah.
Next question.
It is. So once 2 years are back and not happening again, if you could curate the lineup, you can either headline or support. It's up to you. You've got 3 bands. If you could pick the lineup, who would it be? First 3
3
back.
bands. And we're the one of the 3 or
Yeah. We have to be on the lineup, yeah?
Aye.
Cool.
So we'll headline regardless of
Yeah.
what size bands.
But we
they
are a great support band.
We are a great support band.
First on, boom, done.
3 bands is fucking rough.
Yeah.
I'm going Sleeps on first. You know what I mean? So we can get that done and then get party started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to play first. We're talking 30 minutes.
Yeah, on and off.
On and off.
Old school.
Kill it.
Guitars lent on the amps.
Probably
before.
play
Loads
like-
of energy.
Probably play 4 songs just because
4 to
first
6
song
songs,
guitars
long.
aren't working.
Then I'm coming off and I'm going to have thrice play and I'm going to be like
Nice.
getting changed and they're just going to be giving me this like really nice, like a bit mellow, but like super enjoyable vibe while I get spruced.
Mm,
And then I walk back out and watch Rage headline
there you
with
go.
Zach, OG lineup.
I'm just going to go with that.
You want to come?
Yeah. I'm
That
coming.
sounds like
yeah.
a dream. That like
Yeah, I think I'm
perfect.
gonna go.
Yeah.
have killed it.
Yeah, that's it. That's the gig.
I'll wait for the day that Sleeps bring me an architect to do one tour around the UK together, because I'll be at every fucking single date for that, man.
Double arenas, you know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking.
It would be
I mean,
good.
we won't be bringing them tickets that would bring me an architects, but we'd have to do two.
It would be
We'll
good.
be there to support them.
Especially like with those guys supporting us, it would be sick, wouldn't it?
They'll be supporting us one day. Might take a while.
In another life, brother.
The final Grandad tour.
Yeah.
Okay, that's yours. Fair. Do you have any more questions?
How's life? Are you all keeping well? How's the warehouse coming on?
Man.
Is it doing well?
We're doing some renovation on studio. Been painting this morning.
Keeping it fresh.
Keeping it fresh.
Keeping it clean.
Keeping it clean.
I just got a new dog. I'm cleaning piss up all the time, so not so clean.
Welcome
Nice.
Oscar to the Sleeps Dog family.
Yeah.
Wait, what's El's dog called? Oslo.
Oslo.
No, I'm getting muddled up with the O's. Yeah.
Close.
I called Oscar Oslo the other day. Oslo.
Oslo.
Yeah, man. We're
Sean,
keeping busy.
I've got a question for you, actually, man.
Who, me?
I watched
Just interrupted me though. Trying to
video
trying to talk
for,
to you.
you know, in the video for, what's it called, man? I've totally forgotten the name now.
Right, see you later, dude.
Right, that time's up.
No, man, I've totally forgotten the name of the song, like, but it's when you're all in the warehouse, not fucking Sleep Society,
Sleep
man.
Society, you are all you need.
Hurricane.
4 walls, Hurricane. Silence Speaks.
We're all banglers regardless.
Nah, the other
Empire
one.
Silence.
We're all
I've
banglers.
totally forgotten, man.
4 walls. Crows.
I've
we're
got
gonna
stage
sit
fright,
here
man.
together.
I swear to God.
Describe the
Is
video.
there a
dude.
video
We'll
you're
help you
looking
out.
for in your head?
Aye, it's when you're sitting on a bus and you get smacked.
Oh, antisocial.
Oh, yeah.
Antisocial, that's
There you
all
go.
you have
Aye,
to say. What about
antisocial,
it?
that's the fucking one. Did you just get smacked in the face for that video? Because it looked like you did.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, mate.
more than once as well.
Aye, yeah. I thought
landed
so, man.
one
That
in,
wasn't,
like-
that wasn't a one-take thing. We shot that a few times round.
Yeah. Took it like a champ, though.
Yeah, it looks good, doesn't it?
We put an advert out on bus stops in Chef just saying Chavs wanted, and then these people just turned up.
That's
And-
fucking amazing, man.
They were up for it.
Yeah, we had to do it. They were the first. I think we won at first shots. Weren't it
Yeah.
a day, like 10 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning? We had to do it like 5 times. And I had to actually keep telling the guys to hit me properly because
Yeah.
I didn't want it to look fake. I was worried that it looked like a fake punch. So like, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
adrenaline was fine.
The,
I'm solid anyway.
The
so
fun
it's
bit
fine.
about that is that when you put a song on Spotify, you have put a Spotify canvas. Canvas, is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's like a little video. that
and you get
plays
to
over the
choose like
track.
7 seconds or 5 seconds
From
from
a video.
a
Yeah.
video.
Well, that's it, and that's what I was watching today because I had these on Spotify this morning, and I just seen Sean getting punched in the dish, and
Just
it was like
repeatedly.
it looked like it was legit, man.
Oh, it is.
All right, well, legit. The blood weren't legit, but
Aye.
the punch were.
No trickery there.
makes you feel alive.
How you doing, man? How's the society? How's life?
Yeah, good, man. Just I've just moved into this new flat, so
Nice.
Nice.
it's nice to have my own space again and
Yeah,
just
mate.
fucking chill out, and it's really good, man.
Yeah, man.
This is a good little move on. Is that an architect's print?
3.
It is.
Big fan.
It is.
Nice. Well, we were on Zoom to Sam about 10 minutes ago as the first guest on this podcast, and then from Sam on to
see, in
you.
my head, because James he said he had a special guest. In my head, I thought it'd be Simon Neil from Biffy because he's featuring on the album.
Yeah, yeah.
And I love that man so much. I've never met him. He's never met me. But
He's
I
an
love that man
absolute
so
legend.
much. He's such a legend.
He's
How did
like,
that come across? How did you manage to get him on the album? Because that's fucking
he's
so
so
good, man.
bloody nice. We just we've been
yeah,
talking to him quite a lot recently, and he's a fucking great gent.
Yeah.
yeah.
Happened just through. I mean, to be fair, shout out Elliot Taylor, Loz's younger brother. He's the tour manager for Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes.
Yeah, yeah.
And they did a tour with Biffy. And we got wind a few years ago that Simon was a fan of Sleeps, which we were like sort of blown away by.
Yeah.
And we'd always kind of like mentioned about the collaboration. And then we mentioned it to L, and he was like, "Oh, let me drop their TM a line and see if he can introduce you." And he did that. And Simon came back and he was just like, "I'd absolutely love to be involved."
Yeah.
Which was pretty
Very,
cool.
very cool.
The
I'm looking
song's
forward to
fucking
hearing it.
incredible as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a very good song. Like that
Is
whole
it a
collaboration.
heavy one? Is it a heavy one, or is it
You'll
more
find
of a...
out soon, pal.
You'll
Well,
find
that's
out.
it, exactly. Yeah. I can't fucking wait, man.
Yeah, dude.
About
Very excited.
6.5 weeks.
6.5 years until.
Aye,
the record's
roughly,
out.
roughly.
Oh, 6.5 weeks.
It's
Yeah.
a fucking anthem.
Have you worked anything out for the tour that you had in May? Have you got that rescheduled or anything, or is that still
announcement
still
coming shortly?
Yeah,
we're gonna address all this very soon, I think.
Yeah.
It's literally on the peak of our conversations at the minute.
The fun world of gigs is like you now book a show, but you also book the show in 2 other time zones. Just because all we've done for the last year is reschedule things. So we always had multiple sets of dates held for that tour. We're just working out what's the best one to essentially move it to, and just to see we're in the same boat as everyone in terms of finding out what the news from the government is and about those things. So
there's been an announcement of it might happen, but there's no definite date yet. So you can't really.
I believe it when I see it, mate.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
They talk some shite on that TV.
Not getting too excited.
I mean, we haven't got a beautiful relationship of trust with our government, so we're just
there's something about them that
exactly.
I just don't trust them, and I don't know what it is.
I don't. Are you sure?
Are you sure, Dave?
Well, thank you very much for joining us, Jordan.
Dude.
God, I can't speak either.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
and thanks for being at Sleep Society, mate. It's fucking sick and great to speak to you.
Always and forever, mate. Always.
Yeah,
yes, mate.
Love that, bro. Well, thanks very much, mate.
Sam.
You enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, brother.
Thanks, man.
See you in a bit, dude.
Lovely to see you.
See you in a bit,
mate. See you too, mate.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
So that was Jordan from the Sleep Society.
What a dude.
What a fucking legend.
Yeah,
thanks for coming on,
A
brother.
lovely chap.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about what music we are all listening to.
Lots of
currently.
lovely chaps on podcast today, aren't there?
Well, the society is fucking filled with them. Sam can't remember. If not, it should be.
If he's not, I think he's probably become one today.
We'll bend his arm. We'll get him in.
Yeah,
what we've been listening to.
Shout-outs. You're looking at me.
Because you look like you're ready to tell us what you're
I've been
listening to.
listening to lots of Coldplay. Thanks to my girlfriend reigniting that flame in me.
Yeah.
It's one of them bands that fuck me. Like, you know all the songs, but you never sit down and listen to them. But they've been blowing my fucking mind, man. Honestly,
They're great. They're one of them bands that you just, for me, I'm like, people are like, oh, overrated.
They're not overrated at all.
And then
they're fully rated.
And you listen to it and you're like, no, this is
reason.
because it's really good.
The production, the recordings, man, they're so real. There's so many dynamics. What I've realised that it's almost like everything's barely compressed, and the dynamics are fully there. His voice goes in and out. The piano goes up. The dynamics are incredible, man.
Play
Cymbals are splash. It's just whoever recorded it is.
You can play Till Kingdom Come at my funeral. Putting that in here.
Nice.
You do that. Thank you.
That.
I've told you enough. I want all my demos playing.
Yeah.
Sounds really egotistical, but the reason that is because it's so nostalgic to me. And I think part of myself is in there. You know,
we'll play.
Good getting that in as well.
Then you put your own shit.
We could, because we don't have wills yet.
Yeah,
we probably should have wills. We could do a podcast will episode where we
say everything we want.
My will is on Spotify if you want to listen to it.
I want to be a tree. I definitely want to be planted as a tree. I'd rather you guys have somewhere to go. Fucking smoke some doobies and
you're already a tree. Flash image of Sean as tree.
I'd like to be a tree, and I want you to play all my demos at the funeral.
Yeah.
Respect that. My mum wants to be a tree as well.
Your mum?
Yeah. I'm listening to Coldplay, fair.
Yeah, I'm listening to a lot of Michael McDonald at the minute.
Yeah,
that's all I know of Michael.
Yeah, he's
someone doing that after someone saying
he's a legend.
He gets me also, through I keep forgetting I don't smoke weed anymore.
Yeah, it just reminds me of Elle and everyone doing this impression.
Yeah,
that's it.
But he's a fucking legend.
You got an impression.
No.
Bollocks.
Yeah, it's not true.
It's too high for me. I can't get up there.
I've been really enjoying the new You Me at 6 record. I think it's great. Yeah. The Abbey Road session of Glasgow is top notch. I've also been enjoying an artist called Ghost Kid. Nice to hear some fresh, heavy shit. I think that's out on Fever's label, which is pretty cool. So we're going to wrap the pod up today with some shout outs for anything we want. Mm-hmm. Shouting out the things that we think are sick. So I'm going to kick this off. Tell you a small story about how I discovered this.
Here we go.
I went to a local little bottle shop in Chef on Aberdale Road called the Tap Room. I think that's what it's called. To get some nice beers. When I was in there, I asked the guy what kind of beers I wanted. I said, I want a beer like this. Can you recommend me some stuff? He gave me some ones, and one of them had like these sick illustrations on it. Why are you laughing at me? One of these beers
Yeah.
had wicked artwork on it.
Yeah.
I was like, this looks fucking cool. Who's this artist? Did a bit of research, and the guy's called James Hayes. His Instagram is The Liminal Page. And I was getting those beers just before collecting my lovely Just for Laughs from Just for Laughs on Chesterfield Road.
Yeah.
Which is, if you want fucking good vegan falafel, shawarma, shakshuka, all that
The place to go.
food, that's the place to go. There you go. Next.
Nice. I'm going to shout out Sam Bailey and Tom and Taylor for nailing I haven't, to be fair, a bit premature on Tom and Taylor. I haven't seen what they're doing.
Yeah, we're about to see.
They're about to do something for him. So let's hope it's good.
Yeah,
but I just
judging
want
on
to
their past.
I want to shout out to them because, as we were talking about with Sam, I think it's super important and how hard it is sometimes to put so much trust in someone to carry your baby and make something out of it when you might have a vision.
Dress your baby, maybe.
You're going to dress, we have the baby and someone else needs to
Look after
knit
it.
the clothes for
Yeah.
it. We don't know how to knit the clothes. So I think...
But you want to make sure them clothes look like you.
Yeah, so
start.
putting that trust in someone's really important, and we really do trust them guys, and we give Sam Bailey his first opportunity to do a video for us, and he fucking smashed it. We absolutely love it. And shout out to my bird as well, because she really takes care of me. And I'm a pain in the arse. So shout out to
Aren't we all, eh?
Yeah, we
Respect. And to shout out Sam Bailey, his Instagram is Bam Saley, I think.
And mine is Sean WSS.
Hold on a second. Is that right? No, it's not. It's just Saley. So Sailey. He makes crazy 3D
Really cool
manipulated shit that we don't know how to do, basically. And I don't think many people do.
No.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah. I'd like to shout out Kirk Sandal Joinery Services, Phil Maguire and Dave Adams.
Legends.
Absolute sorting us out. They've worked on the warehouse doing some renovation, but they've worked on both our houses.
They did some doors in the warehouse. They know what they're doing with some wood, like.
Oh, they do like.
So if there needs up building out of wood.
And legends, society members, big supporters of the band.
Yeah, always supporting us, really.
Basically, we're showing people that we're doing the renovation, but actually they're doing all of it.
Yeah.
This is just, all this paint's just for show, man.
It's those guys
We got
who are
them to
working
paint
hard.
that on Sean's
They painted this
jumper.
on me, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're great.
legends. Thank you.
And yeah, if you are in this local area, the South Yorkshire thing, hit them up. Kirk Sandal Joinery. I think it's on Instagram.
Kirk's Sandals.
Kirk Sandal.
Who's Kirk and where the fuck are his sandals? This is the section of the show where we shout out people who are doing cool stuff in Sleep Society, and we've checked out their shit. We think it's worthy of a shout out.
Yeah.
I'm going to shout out a band called With One Word, who I actually did their logo for them. They reached out to me on Instagram probably a year and a half ago, something like that, and said that they were into my graphic stuff, and I did them a logo, which was really cool. And I think like some of them have got it fucking tattooed and shit now. But the band's cool. It's called With One Word. Check them out.
Nice. I'm going to shout out Lenny Drums, who did a drum cover of You Are All You Need.
Neon.
Absolutely smashed it, yeah.
Yep.
Wrapping some merch.
Great,
Yeah,
Sick.
smashed it. So thanks for that, Lenny.
I want to shout out Tom Ryder, who won the Whammy competition.
One dude messaged me before being like, how long have I got to sign up? He was joining to enter the competition because he saw it happening, and his video was sick. I mean, we both messaged about it.
Yeah.
I think he was in the top few.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the people who jumped on
well
that.
done, everyone. And like I said in the society, I want to do something else like that where we get everyone on the fucking instruments trying to have a go.
Create.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So thank you. Thank you.
Big up all the Sleep Society members for being on this journey with us. We fucking love you. And we'll be back soon. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.